Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. My name's Gemma if you are new here. So if you stumbled upon this video today, then you are either A, thinking about getting breast augmentation, you possibly have had it already done, or you're just a little bit nosy. Either way, I don't mind. I'm really happy that you're here and tuning into today's video, and I am going to try and make this as informative as possible because I know it's a huge life-changing decision. And when I was doing my research, when I decided to have breast augmentation, there just weren't many good videos out there. So before I get started, if you are new here, you don't know me, you don't know that I've had breast augmentation, I will leave my two videos linked down below in the description box, and also my vlog that I did on surgery day, which is here, which also includes my recovery, which was awful. And then I also did a Q&A video as well, which I will link somewhere on the screen here. So let's get straight into it. I actually asked on Instagram, I put one of those little question boxes on my stories and asked what questions you wanted answers to. I am 1 year, coming up to 3 months post-op, and I would have filmed this video sooner for you guys, but long story short, I was considering revision surgery. There's nothing wrong with the shape of my boobs. I do feel like the surgeon overall did a really good job. I just feel personally for my body, they're a little bit on the bigger side than I would have liked. So one important takeaway message from this video is size is crucial. And people did say to me, Gem, you're really not going to be able to wear the same things that you did before. I was like, oh, it's fine. Best believe that is so true. If you've got any further questions, pop me a comment down below and I will make sure to answer it for you, or DM me on Instagram. Honestly, I feel like most of my DMs now come off the back of my previous YouTube breast augmentation Q&A videos. I really hope that you enjoyed today's video, guys, and I'm so sorry it's taken me so long to get this up. So, did you use silicone cream for your scars? Can you do push-ups? This was actually the cream that I used, and it was really highly recommended. It's a scar treatment, it's a silicone formula. I was recommended bio oil and this one, but I used this one, and to be honest, I was really good in the beginning with applying it, but I don't apply it anymore. I just forget, and my scars are actually pretty non-existent. So yeah, this one is really good. I will link it down below for you. Again, bio oil you can use as well, but yeah, this one is a silicone formula. And to answer your question, do I use push-up bras? Can I do push-ups? I definitely can. I just personally don't really feel like I need it because my boobs are big enough, and because they're big, when they're pushed up I just feel like they're a bit too much, but I definitely can if I want to. Have you lost any sensation? You go one of two ways, to the best of my knowledge. You either are hypersensitive or you lose complete sensitivity. And from the day of my surgery, my nipples in particular have been so sensitive. And also, so even now when I touch, like I have full sensation in my nipples and everywhere on my boobs when I touch them. And when I'm due on my period, they are extra sensitive. Like even the tiniest little brush like that is so sensitive. I haven't, but I have heard of people that have. Would you still recommend the surgeon you went with? So I went with Dr. Alex Karidis at the Karidis clinic. I think overall I am happy with the result. I mean, they are so much better than they were to start with. However, I just feel like they're a little bit too big. I have gone back and forth with the clinic and with my patient coordinator to see what can be done about getting them reduced, and it's going to cost about the same amount as the surgery to begin with, which I can't afford right now without putting myself in debt, which is not something I want to do. I'm still going back and forth with them. I don't really know what they can do for me, what I can do. I really am sat on the fence. I don't know whether to wait because I'm probably going to have to get them redone in 10 years. I don't know if I'm 6 grand unhappy, and it's a lot. Like, the decision took me a long time to come to in the first place. So this decision is also taking me a long time as well, because I didn't take the decision lightly. Surgery, it is a massive thing. I don't know if I want to put my body through that again. I do think he's a good surgeon. What I would say is just really think about the size that you're going for, because I do feel like I would have been a lot happier if they were smaller. I definitely don't have boob greed, that's for sure. Okay, thanks so much for sharing. How natural do they feel and look now? So when I first had them done, be prepared, your boobs are going to look like cones. Think Madonna boobs. I honestly, probably for about 6 months post-op, I didn't like the way that my boobs looked. It is a real journey. You have to be patient. I do say it's the gift that keeps on giving, and I do feel like they have fluffed. They look so much more natural. I do feel like I have big natural boobs that are just quite perky, but when I first had them done, they were literally Madonna cone tits, and I was freaking out. I know a lot of people off of the back of my previous Q&A and my vlog as well have said thank you so much for letting me know about the cone tits, because I have serious cone tits right now and I'm freaking out. But yeah, I do feel like they are really natural looking. I can push them, I can wiggle them. I mean, I'm not wearing a bra in this top, and I do feel like they do look like big natural-ish boobs, if that makes sense. I mean, you might disagree, but I don't know, I do feel like they look so much better than they did. And I actually feel like my gap has closed. That was one thing I was really conscious of. I had quite a big gap, and I feel like naturally, as they've softened a little bit, they've kind of come together a little bit more. What size and brand and type did you get? Sorry to hear you're not happy with the results. So I am happy with the results, I just think they're too big for my frame. I feel that I just don't look as elegant as I used to look, and I do feel like it takes away from my look a little bit. I do think that I do have naturally quite broad shoulders, but from looking back at previous videos of me when I was in the gym, when I had no boobs, I just overall looked a lot slimmer. I feel like they make me look more top heavy, if that makes sense, but I guess I do have big boobs on me now. So the size that I got was 355cc. They were round Motiva high profile implants. Wow, that's a mouthful, but again, I'll pop that down below in the description box so it's easy for you guys to find. I was considering getting teardrop implants, but Karidis, when I went for my consultation, actually held up the silicone implant like that, and they fall quite naturally into almost like a teardrop shape anyway, and I don't feel like mine look like round stuck on balls, which is one thing I specifically said in my consultation with Karidis, is I do not want to look like I've got round stuck on balls, and I feel like I don't. So I'm really happy with that. I can obviously lift them up depending on the top I wear, depending on the bra that I wear, and make them look and sit a lot higher. I've kind of been avoiding that, to be honest, because when I do that, it means that I have to wear a tighter top or a tighter bra, and I just think that I then look like I've got just loads of boobs filling out, and it's just not it for me, you know. So yeah. Can you lay on your front and side now to sleep? So for I think about 3 months, I was using my neck pillow and my pillow lifter. I'll link that down below. Honestly guys, if you're getting breast augmentation, you need that to have a decent night's sleep. I actually still use my neck pillow. It's so comfortable. It's like a huge kind of V-neck shaped one, but for a good few months I could not lie on my front or my side. So I think it went from laying kind of slightly upright to down, and then I slowly moved onto my side, and now I can lie on my front no problem at all. But it does take time and you have to be patient. Just to say thank you for your video, it really helped me prepare for my augmentation. Oh, like honestly, I was so overwhelmed by the amount of views that my previous videos got, and also just the amount of comments from people who've said thank you so much, it's so informative. And I was in your position when I was researching and when I made a decision I wanted to have breast augmentation, and there's just not a lot of really good informative videos out there, and I just wanted to put out a video that would help at least one person. So I feel like I did what I set out to achieve, if that makes sense. Next question: did you find they got bigger as they dropped and fluffed? Unhappy with my sizing. So yeah, that's one thing I'll say. I think because when you first get them done, they're just not a natural shape at all. They're really big, they sit really high, they are like cone shapes, and they're just not how your boobs are going to look. Like, you do have to give it time for them to drop. Fluff is the term that they use, and I think once they dropped and fluffed, that's when I started to see what my end result was. And if I'm honest, and I even said this to my surgeon, and I'm not sure that he necessarily agrees with me, but again, I'm in my own body. You're looking at your boobs so much that I know that they definitely got bigger when they dropped and fluffed. They're like a big handful now. I'm really sorry to hear that you're unhappy with your sizing. Believe me, I know what it feels like, because that is what I'm currently experiencing right now. And I know I might seem really happy and really chirpy. I do have to stress that they are a lot better than my befores, but it's not the result that I set out to achieve, if that makes sense. And I was feeling really down about it for a while, and ironically, getting this done I thought was going to instantly give me the confidence that I was just lacking in the boobie department. And I did feel really sad for a while, because I was just like, have I made a mistake? I am happier than I was to begin with. I just feel sometimes quite disheartened when I can't wear the same things that I used to, if that makes sense. Someone says they don't look too big, they suit you perfectly. I mean, I'm really happy that you think that. But one thing I will stress is it's my body. I know how I wanted them to look. And if I'm honest, I would have preferred them to probably be a whole cup size smaller. So I am wearing 32D bras. Oh, one thing I will say as well is when I first got them done and I first had them measured, I think about 8 weeks post-op, I got measured at a 32C, and I am definitely a 32D, so definitely got bigger. I do actually have a lounge bra that's a 32DD, and it fits me really well. So yeah, like, I do take that comment on board. However, one thing I will say is you shouldn't really comment on people's bodies when you don't know how they actually feel inside. Do you find you can wear more / less now? So I kind of touched on that comment a little bit. I think that there's things that I can wear more, and there's things that I can wear less. The things I find I can't really wear are, I mean, weirdly, like these type of bralettes, I still am wearing them. I just feel that it does give a different look. I have to be very conscious of the things that I'm putting on. When you wear certain things and you have completely no boobs, it just doesn't look very sexy. And then when you have these boobs, it just instantly just makes the outfit look completely different. I think that's the best way to describe it. I feel like I can't wear the little pretty smock dresses that I always used to love and wear the same way. The boobs just make the dress stick out a little bit, can actually make it look a little bit mumsy. I don't really like that term. I don't mean to offend any like mums, but the term has meaning, and when I put on a dress, I do feel mumsy. But I think one important thing to say actually when it comes to dressing, so compared to normal natural boobs, I feel like they're a little bit more movable. You can manipulate them a little bit more. So in like tops and dresses, you can kind of wiggle them around, whereas I can do that, but my boobs, because they are fake silicone implants, they still are quite like structured and stuck on. So I feel sometimes there's an extent to how much you can maneuver them. So sometimes I feel like physically my boob just will not fit in to a top or a dress. Like Zara, for example, I know their sizing is really inconsistent, but with their molded cups, I am a size small generally, or an 8, but I've had to size up to a medium in pretty much everything. Yes, it's got some stretch in it, but the molded cups, I find, because the diameter of my boob physically will not fit into the cup, so things like that I've struggled with to be honest. Okay, this often doesn't get talked about. What do the boobies look like lying down, no bra? So I feel like mine probably look like natural boobs. Like when I lie down, they do go off to the side a little bit, so they don't just sit there. I mean, I do actually see some other people who've had breast augmentation and their boobs do tend to just sit there. I mean, I've kind of like zoomed in, and from what I can see, they don't look like they're wearing a bra, and they do sit very like there. They don't look like they move at all, but mine do really move. But I don't know if that's the breast pocket that was created by Karidis on the day of the surgery. I don't know if that's got something to do with it. Sometimes I'm there lying down in bed and I'm like, I wish it just stayed like that all the time, but I guess I did ask for natural and I did get very natural fake boobs. Are you concerned about any potential long-term effects, inflammation / encapsulation? I think I definitely spoke about this in my last Q&A. One really major concern for me was breast implant illness. Do your research, look it up. It seems to be a real thing. It actually made me stall on my decision massively for about 3 months, I think. I was really scared, because some of the side effects sound horrific. I spoke to my surgeon about it. He explained the risks. I feel like any good surgeon, when you go to your consultation, will first and foremost explain the risks to you. They're not there pushing the surgery on you. Do bear that in mind when you go for your consultations. At the end of the day, I made the decision for me. I knew the risks involved, and so far, I mean, touch wood, touch my head, I haven't had any side effects. I obviously have had some negative Nancy's comment on my videos saying that I shouldn't be promoting breast augmentation. I wouldn't actually say that I'm promoting it. I'm just being open and honest, which is very much my personality if you followed me for a while, and if I can help at least one person, then job done. I made the decision for me. I feel like I've been very good at saying, really do your research. Don't take this decision lightly. It is a really big decision, and I cannot harp on about that like anymore, because it really is. But at the end of the day, I went for the surgery knowing the risks, and I made the decision for me, ultimately, for my self-confidence and for how much I have been affected by hating my boobs for half of my life, 15 years, since I went into puberty and didn't get boobs and just felt disheartened every day when I wore clothes. So yeah. Can you show a before and after to show how they dropped? I mean, I really hope that this video doesn't get taken down. I will do my best to insert a photo here of what my breasts look like pretty much a couple of days, couple of weeks post surgery, and then I will put a picture here now of what they look like in a bra, and that is 1 year 3 months post op. I haven't really been the greatest at documenting, like taking pictures. I did in the beginning just to see, because they look so much like cones, I took pictures just to see what they were looking like kind of week after week. They have definitely dropped. I feel like they sat like up here on my chest, and they've definitely dropped. I wouldn't say they've gone saggy, but they've definitely dropped. Hope they don't drop much more. What size did you go to and from, and is it bigger than what you asked for? So I went from a 32A. I don't even know if I was a 32A, it might have even been smaller. I now am a 32D. So when I first went for my consultation, I was offered between 315 and 375cc. 315, when I put them in the bra, felt a little bit underwhelming, if I'm honest, but that bra and that tank top that they put on you is just absolutely useless, because that doesn't, it's not a real indication of what your boobs are going to look like, if I'm honest. But I knew that the 375 were too big. I felt like a porn star, so those were written off. But I went back because I was really stressing about the size. I think I might have actually gone back 3 times in total. Like, if you're stressed, go back. Like, it's a huge decision, and make sure that you feel comfortable. I think I'd settled somewhere between 325 and 355, but I felt like the 355 were a little bit too big for me. My surgeon said that I don't need to make a decision now. I can even make a decision on the day if I wanted to. I was really stressed. I asked for the smaller size to be called in, so I think the range that I had was 325cc up until 355. So I think there was 325, 335 and 355 if I'm correct. On the day of the surgery, I remember specifically saying to my surgeon, I'm really worried about the size. I don't want them to be too big. And he ended up giving me 355. So yeah, really, in hindsight, I think I probably should have been given 325. The surgeon says to me that the difference between 325 and 355 is so minimal. It's like a teaspoon. I think personally I would have been more comfortable with 325. I have since gone back for another consultation, obviously expressed that I was unhappy that they were too big. My surgeon was quite surprised because he said usually people want to go bigger, not smaller. I am the anomaly. But then I was offered 275 or 295, which, as you can imagine, was a little bit frustrating for me because I really wish that I was offered that in the beginning, after saying that I didn't want to go too big about my job, my clothes, not wanting to change my wardrobe, etc. And now if I do want to go smaller, I have to pay, because since I went and had my breast augmentation, Karidis has put his prices up, and now for a replacement and exchange of implants, it's costing £14,000, which blows my mind. Obviously I did argue that, and they're gonna, if I want to go ahead, are happy to give me a slight discount, which will bring it down to just under 6,000. But I didn't factor in that the whole thing would cost me £12,000. Like, that's crazy. I think my friend had a lift and implants and didn't even pay that. Really don't know what I'm going to do, guys, so that will probably be another video to update you guys on. Girl, they are the perfect size. I got mine done and hate that I went too small. Again, what is perfect for you is not perfect for me. I just need to make a decision whether I am like £5,000 unhappy. And a lot of people will say like, oh, it's just money, like money comes and goes, but we are in an economic crisis at the minute. Everything is expensive, and putting myself into debt is not the sensible thing to do. When I paid for the surgery, I paid for it outright. I have been saving for years, and I don't really have that money now to just fork out for another surgery all over again. How did Lewis and other loved ones react? Lots of men and women can be very judgy about it. Lewis said to me, didn't think that I needed to have them done. Obviously when he met me, I had no boobs and it wasn't a problem. I mean, guys say that they're just happy with a handful, to be honest. When I first had them done, Lewis was like, oh my god, what are they? Because they looked like cones, honestly. He was trying to be kind, but it was not it. I think he thinks that probably they're a little bit on the bigger side, but at the end of the day, he is mindful that it's my body, it's my decision. I think they've definitely grown on him. I think because I expressed that I was unhappy as well with the size, then he just didn't want me to be unhappy. In terms of other people, I feel like everyone's been really supportive. I think people who are close to me know how much I've been talking about getting a boob job since I was 15 years old. So it came as no surprise. Like, my friends weren't really shocked. My family, at the end of the day, like, my dad was really supportive. He said that you've just got to do it for you. Don't care about other people's opinions, and I didn't. I was just really scared that, not that people are going to judge me, I was more worried about the messaging I was going to put out to my followers on Instagram, because I know that I've got younger, more impressionable girls following me, and I just wanted to make sure that I conveyed the message correctly and that I wasn't there promoting surgery. You said you had a bad recovery. Can you share more details, please? So I will link my Q&A down below, and also my recovery vlog. It was just very painful. I wasn't really able to do things unassisted. I definitely needed Lewis around for the first week, and I thought that my recovery was going to be a breeze. Like, I'm fit, I train at the gym, I was training upper body and chest. Like, I really didn't think that it was going to be an issue. But things that you don't think about that you can't do, like pushing a plug in, pulling a plug out, pushing the toilet flush, opening the fridge door, pulling the lever down on my coffee machine, just random things that I'd never think I wouldn't be able to do became an issue. Again, everyone's different. I went under the muscle, which is more invasive. Recovery can be a little bit longer and more painful, but everybody is different. Everybody comes out with a different result. So you might get 3.5cc and it might be smaller on you, or it might be bigger, and there's actually no real way to tell, which is annoying. I've had people off the back of my videos message me saying that their recovery was a breeze. I saw some girls out going for cocktails like 3 days post-op when I was doing my research, and I couldn't even barely go to the toilet 3 days post-op, let alone go for a cocktail. So yeah. Okay, so daily routine. When were you allowed to do stuff? Cooking, hair drying, etc. So I think 1 week I couldn't do anything for myself. Like Lewis was literally doing everything, bless. Like I'm so glad that I had him here with me. You don't know, you might be fine, but I'd say for the first 3 days have someone just on hand, just in case you might need them. I couldn't wash my hair on my own. Lewis, I mean, you may have seen my vlog, actually had to wash my hair. And I probably would advise, if you don't have someone there, maybe just check yourself in for like a blow dry, wash and blow dry at like your local hairdressers or something, because it got to like day 4 or 5 of not washing my hair and I just felt gross. Probably for me, but bear in mind I did have a bad recovery, 2 weeks post-op I started to get back to normal. I think once I had my stitches, sorry, not my stitches removed, my stitches were dissolvable once I had my dressings removed, because you can't get them wet for 2 weeks. Well, I couldn't get mine wet for 2 weeks anyway, so I couldn't shower properly for 2 weeks. It was like the shower head kind of doing a little wash or a little hooker wash with my flannel, just like a shallow bath wash. So yeah, 2 weeks. I think once I had my dressings removed, life started to return back to normal. But yeah, just don't push yourself, listen to your body, and rest, lots of rest. Okay, how much advice did the surgeon give in terms of size? Just had my initial consultation. So my surgeon gave me a range of sizes. He said, like, after doing the measurements with a little like tape measure, he said that the size he would recommend for me, the smallest was 315cc, and the largest 375. Personally, I've got 355, and I don't know if you can see, but from the side, like, I don't feel like I really could have had any more like go in there. They feel like they're stuffed out as much as they can. Definitely got way more side boob. Like, they feel to me bigger when you look on the side than they do from the front. I don't know if that's got something to do with the implant, but for me personally, I don't think I really could have gone any bigger. Like, I just don't feel like I could have a bigger implant in there. Like, I already feel like they're at full capacity, if that makes sense. In terms of size, that's basically the choice that he gave me. In hindsight, I really wish that I had maybe explored the like 275, 295cc. Probably would have boob greed and wish that I'd gone a little bit bigger. But for me personally, I actually think I would have preferred that over, like, with the smaller boobs, I could always wear a push-up bra, but now I've got bigger boobs, I can't take anything away, if that makes sense. So just do bear that in mind. Some food for thought. Your surgeon will give you a range, and then I think you kind of have to go away and make a decision. That's what my surgeon did anyway. I think every surgeon is different. So if you could turn back time, would you still have had them done? My biggest worry is that I'd regret having them done. So no, I don't regret having them done. Like I said, they are definitely better than what I started with, and it's like a whole different experience having boobs now. Like, honestly, like I do feel that it has given me more confidence for sure. The one thing I'll say is I don't necessarily like the attention you get when you have bigger boobs, because I never experienced that. I mean, I had tiny boobs before. I'll actually insert a picture here of what my boobs look like before surgery. So I don't regret having them done. I just regret the size. Like, I just wish that I'd gone smaller. But if anything, I don't actually think that that is a decision I could have really made for myself. So I regret the size that I am now, but I don't think that I regret the surgery overall, if that makes sense. What's scarring like, and can you sleep on your front at all? So yeah, I touched on this briefly before. I can sleep on my front, and I'll insert a little picture or video here of what my scars look like. They're really good, like they're really fine, very minimal. I don't even notice them. Would you advise it if I'm living alone and had no help recovering, reaching for things? So I definitely needed Lewis around, even if you've got a housemate or something. But if you're living alone, perhaps what I would recommend is before surgery, if you've got like, I don't know, tins of food like high up, move them all down so they're on level or out on the counters. Maybe order in some like takeaway food, or do like meal prep before, something like that. But every recovery is different. Mine was really bad. Others, literally they're driving like the next day, which I don't think is advised. But yeah, for me personally, there's no way I could have done that. But again, my recovery was just really bad for some reason. What complications did you have? I've had complications with my nose injury and had to fix it twice. So for me, I haven't actually had any complications. When I went back for my follow-up with Karidis, he said that everything was looking great, that they're not like hardening, that I can move them. I mean, I do get weird sensations sometimes, like, oh, how to describe it? Like, I definitely can feel that there's something in there, if that makes sense. Complication wise, touch wood, touch my head, I haven't had anything. I can kind of answer both of these questions. Someone said, how much smaller would you want to go, and what size CC did you go, and what size would you prefer? So I don't think I would want to go like too much smaller, but I'd want it to be noticeable for myself. So I think, if I'm honest, I'm 355cc currently. I think I'd probably want to go for 295cc. So it's not the biggest difference, and that's why in my head I'm really trying to think, do I need to actually have it done? Should I have it done? Should I maybe wait till I have kids? But I'm there thinking, if I get pregnant, I genuinely cannot cope with them getting bigger. Like, honestly. And I find that when I come, or I'm due on my period, they get bigger and I have a meltdown every month. I'm just like, I cannot cope with this, and I'm like finding ways to try and make them look smaller. So I probably, Karidis did recommend to me 275 or 295. However, a couple of people that I know who've had 275 say that they wish they'd gone a little bit bigger, but they can actually wear whatever they want and it still looks classy. So 275 or 295, I would say probably for me is what I want to go for. Do you see yourself getting used to them, not reducing them? They look much more natural now, they've settled in properly, but appreciate that it's about how you feel in them. So yeah, like I said, no bra on now, and this literally has zero support. You've probably seen in this video I've been pulling it up. They are really natural. I feel like they feel very natural. I can push them together. I can also lift them up if I want to. I can make them look more like fake boobs. I don't know, I'm still making that decision, so I will update you once I've decided. I'm also really conscious that this video is super long. I'm so sorry. I don't know, it's a lot to consider. It's a lot of money. I don't know, I really don't know yet is the honest answer. And last question, do you ever wish you had not had it done? I'm 3 operations in and wish I'd not started. I'm really sorry that you feel that way. One thing I will say is, obviously it's not a decision to take lightly. You do have to have them replaced. A lot of people have said they're more a hindrance than a help. I remember waking up after I come to on the surgery day, and I started crying because I had boobs. I was very overwhelmed with emotion, obviously still pumped with anesthetic and painkillers and everything. But I definitely am so much happier than what I started with. I feel like as well my gap has closed. I feel like before they were definitely, because they were still swollen, the swelling was pushing them away from my chest wall, and they've definitely come together a little bit more naturally now. So to answer the question, I don't really regret having them done, and obviously I don't know if I'm going to go for revision surgery yet. I really haven't decided. I just feel like they're too big for what I wanted. I'm going to end the video with that piece of information. Do what you want with it. See, listen to your surgeon, but I feel like what I wish I had acted on more was I had a gut feeling that they were too big, or they were going to be too big for me. And when I woke up and I knew that I was given 355cc, I did actually cry, because I knew that that was going to be too big for what I wanted. If you have a gut feeling that they're too big, listen to your gut. Your gut is always right, as they say. It's kind of bittersweet, because I am happier than I was to start with, but I just wish that they were smaller. I really hope that I've answered all your questions. If you've got any more questions, pop me a comment down below. I might have to film a part 2. I really hope that you have enjoyed this video, you found it informative. If I've missed anything, just pop me a question below, DM me. I can always get another video filmed if I've missed stuff, but yeah. Thank you for watching, guys. Trust the process. If you're thinking about having it done, do your research and I'm sure you'll be fine. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you very soon in my next one. Bye.